Hello everyone, so welcome to Bookmas day 10 and I'm super excited to do this video. I'm super excited. So for today's video we are doing a awards ceremony for not all of the book boyfriends, but some of the book boyfriends that I met this year. We are going to give some awards out. Some of them are good awards, some of them are not so good awards. So without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into the video. So I have a little presentation on my iPad. So if you see me looking, that's what I'm looking at. But this is the 2025 Book Boyfriend Awards. Now, the first couple of things we have is just some like rules and a few little like statistics and things. So the first thing is like the classification. So what qualifies as a book boyfriend? So first off, we have we met this year. Second one is anyone I read about. So it could be like a side character, a main character, anything like that. And reintroductions count. So if I've reread a book or it's like a new book in a series, it still counts. So next we have dates, the amount of dates that I went on. I think the total, I can't remember what the total number was, but we have 2 that I ghosted, so they were ones that I DNF'd, so we just didn't even entertain that. We have 2, I called them runaway brides, so like I have like softly DNF'd them for right now. I think we had like 42, that was like one and done, so we only went on 1 date and that was it. We had, I think 8. There was a second chance, so we went on 2 dates with them. I think we had 4 or 5 that was third time's a charm, so we went on 3 dates, we gave them 3 chances, and I think we only had 2 that was taking you home, so we went on 4 dates or more with them. The next one we have is occupations. So the things that these people did that I've read about this year, you can see we have a lot, but the top 3 was coming in at 3rd place was ice hockey players. Coming in at 2nd place, they were warriors, and coming in at first place were billionaires. But we have lots in there. We've got like spicy club owners, musicians, bull riders, magician, executioner, demons, football players, vampires, mafia, like people involved in the mafia, princes, journalists, basketball players, F1 drivers, baseball, pilots, headmaster, doctors, builders, fae, and shadow daddies. So ice hockey, we dated 8 ice hockey players. We dated 11 warriors, and we dated 13 billionaires. So billionaire was definitely the winner. And now we move into the individual awards. So I think I have about 13 or 14 awards to give, and they're, like I said, some of them are not great, some of them are. So first up we have the biggest ick, and this is someone that the man who grossed me out the most or like annoyed me the most. And in this one I literally got like I think 9 or 10 chapters in and I was like, nah, not for me. These people are annoying me. I was really annoyed with both the MMC and the FMC. I think that they were both acting like absolute pathetic children when they were in their 30s. And that is Julian Lopez from Love Redesigned. I've put together a little dating profile so you can see he is 30. We don't know his height. He doesn't have abilities because this is not a like fantasy book. He is a billionaire and carpenter. I just really dislike this book. It is a second chance, childhood friends to lovers, and they just were acting like idiots the whole time, and it really bothered me. They're in their 30s acting like 17-year-olds, and it really bothered me. And I got 9 chapters into this and I DNF'd the book. I really disliked this book. This lives on my shelf of shame behind me because it just does not deserve to see the light of day. I question why people like this book. I have the 3rd book in this series because Book Bestie gifted it to me, and I will read that because just because I didn't like this book doesn't mean that I won't like the others. But this one was a really big no for me, and yeah, Julian Lopez from Love Redesigned gave me some of the biggest ick. The next award we have to give is the Most Unconventional Book Boyfriend Award. So this is a man who I did not expect to like, and just thought, you know, when I started reading it, I was like, oh no, I'm really not gonna like this book. I'm not gonna like this character. I'm not gonna like this story. I'm not gonna like this book boyfriend. And I was pleasantly surprised. This is age gap. It is kind of like an ex-boyfriend's dad situation, not quite, but sort of. It's also a love triangle, and it's a billionaire romance as well. And it is Alistair Wilde from Gravity by Sara, Cate. He, as you can see there, he is 50 years of age. His height is unknown. I do know that he was fairly tall in this book, but she was also like, you know, only 19 or 20, so she was still quite young. Again, Abilities, not applicable in this. It's not a fantasy, so he doesn't have any special magic wielding abilities, and he is a billionaire slash pilot. I really enjoyed this book way more than I thought I did. I think I read this in a 24-hour reading challenge, and I remember saying in that video, I don't know if I'm gonna like this, I'm probably gonna end up DNFing it, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was really good. I do really like Sarah Cate's writing. I've read 2 books by her now. I have 2 more. Do I have 2 more? Yes, I have 2 more. I have Eyes on Me, which is the 2nd book in the Salacious Players Club, and Freefall, which is the 2nd book in the Wild Boys duology. I have that to read as well. And yeah, I really, really like her writing. I really liked this book. I think that he is a fantastic male main character, very mature. Clearly that obviously comes with age, and just the way he handles things was really quite beautiful, and I really did like this book and very much enjoyed my time spent with this man. Next we have Burn the World Award, and this is a man that would literally let every other person die but you. If you wanted to burn the world to the ground, he would literally hand you the match and stand there and watch it burn to the ground with you. This man that I've picked for this would absolutely do that in a heartbeat. In any of the books he would have done that for his FMC, for his love interest, and I would love to be that love interest. Okay, who does not want to be taken down by a 6'5" shadow wielder? And I'm right there, and it is Xaden Ryerson from Onyx Storm, or even from any of them. I just pulled out Onyx Storm because it's the easiest one to get off my shelf, but this one, I was introduced to this version of Xaden this year, so that's why I picked this one over Fourth Wing, even though I did reread Fourth Wing and all that this year. But this is his little dating profile. His name is Xaden Ryerson. He's 23, 6'5". He's a shadow wielder and an intrinsic, and his occupation is a warrior slash dragon rider. I haven't put dragon rider in there because like he's just a warrior, and I just put Empyrean Series because yeah, but I picked out Onyx Storm. Again, he is just very much like the way he is for Violet, and the way he, you know, especially in this, if you've read it, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but in this, the way he's preparing Violet for what's to come, like he already knew what's to come. He is like, no, like you are the one that I'm going to protect, and I'm going to make sure that you're okay. And I really love that about this book. So, and I love that about Xaden. He is very much like an FU character to everyone else but Violet, and that's why I'm like, he would literally let the world burn and hand Violet the match and help her burn the world to the ground and just stand there and watch it, and would literally not care if anyone died but her. So he gets the Burn the World Award. Next up we have the Hero Award, and this is a man that was the biggest hero, or the most like unlikely hero, or just really went above and beyond in this book. Now, I do want to say I totally understand that this boy is young because it is set in high school. However, I still think that what he did in the book is very deserving of an award, so I'm giving it to him. It is Johnny Kavanagh from Keeping 13 specifically. If you've read this series, you'll know what scene I'm talking about specifically that really put him in this spot for me. And yeah, so this is Johnny Kavanagh. He's 17 years old. He's about 6 foot. I think he's slightly over 6 foot. They don't really have like their heights for these people. Again, no abilities. It's not a fantasy book. And his occupation is a rugby player slash football player, and he's also obviously a high school student as well. Johnny in this is just so sweet, and the way that he looks after Shannon and her siblings. And yeah, like I said, there's a particular scene in this that if you've read this series and you've read this book, you will know which scene I'm talking about specifically with this and why I have given this award to him. Next up we have the Villain Award, and this is the man who I think was the best villain that I read about this year. And I have picked, I've only read the first book in this series, but the way you get an introduction to him and the way he is, he just seems like a really awesome villain, and I'm very excited to continue on with this series this month. And it is Aaron Warner from Shatter Me. He is 19 in the first book. I think he's about 21, 22 in the final book. I'm not 100% sure, but I know in this book he is only 19. He is 6'1". He's an energy absorber, and I think it was also like an emotional transmitter or something, like he can pick up on other people's emotions. I just couldn't fit it in the dating profile. His occupation is he is a warrior. He's the supreme commander of Sector 45 that is running the rebellion, I believe. And yeah, he's from the Shatter Me series. Again, this is not someone that I expected to love. I don't like blonde MMCs, but I actually really enjoyed the small amount that we got to see of him. I read this in a 24-hour reading challenge. It was super easy to read it in a few hours, and I really did enjoy it. And like I said, I'm super excited to continue on with the rest of this series this month. It's on my December TBR, so that's that one. Then we have the Golden Retriever Award, and when I hold this book up and I show you guys the dating profile, you guys are going to totally laugh and understand why I have picked this, but I think it is totally fitting. So with a golden retriever, this is someone who is, the male main character is very sunshiny and will like literally do everything, and is literally like when you come home to your dog, literally like that dog when you walk home, you walk in the door and they're wagging their tails and they go crazy and they just want to be around you and they rest on your lap and all those things. That is a golden retriever to me. And the man I have picked for that is Isaiah Rhodes from Play Along by Liz Tomforde. Isaiah is 28, he's 6'4". Again, abilities, it's not applicable in this scenario, and he's the shortstop for the Chicago Warriors. He has such an optimistic outlook on life, and it's amazing that he does, considering his history, especially his and his brother's history, and it's really quite beautiful to see the amount of love that he gives to Kennedy in this book, and the way he treats her, and he is so kind and so loving and just so beautiful. I definitely think he is very much worth the Golden Retriever Award. He's also a very funny character. He's also got a lot of energy, and he also fits that golden retriever aspect in that as well. So golden retriever award goes to Isaiah Rhodes. Okay, the next one we have is a changed man. So this is a man who had the most growth in his book or in the series, and the man that I chose for that was Rylan from Court of the Vampire Queen. He is one of the men involved in this book, and if you've read this book, he is a super grumpy person. He just does not care. He doesn't want to be anywhere near her. When he finds out what she is, he's like, fuck you, I can't be away from you, but I don't want to be anywhere near you. And just like, oh, it's so good. The tension between the FMC and Rylan, that MMC specifically, is so good and just totally chef's kiss. So he is the oldest bloodline vampire that we know of. He's like over 1,000 years old. He is 6 foot plus. Again, not specifically mentioned in this. He is a shapeshifter, and his occupation is being a vampire. That's what he does. And yeah, he is such a brooding man in this. He is very broody, just does not care, doesn't want to be involved, is super angry at the other two men in this book as well. And he changed a lot in this book, where he went from being really broody and not caring about Mina and being so pissed off with Malachi and Wolf. He really changed throughout the book, and you see this more loving, caring side come out of him, and it was really beautiful to see. So he gets the Changed Man Award. Okay, next up we have the Trauma Award. This isn't a good award, same like the first one, the Biggest Ick Award. This is the man who traumatized me the most, okay? I was traumatized reading this book. I believe that the female, like the FMC, would have been traumatized in this book as well, and that goes to Michael Christ. Not sure how to say it. He's 23, he's 6'5". He doesn't have any abilities because, again, it is not a fantasy book. And he is a basketball player from Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. I hate what Michael and his friends did to Rena, I think her name is. Rika. I hate what they did to Rika. I think that they were so out of line. They did not have all the information, and they were just such assholes about it when the person that did it was right underneath their nose. And the fact that Michael couldn't see that she wouldn't have done that really pissed me off. And yeah, it was really hard to pick between this one and Julian Lopez for Biggest Ick, because he also gave me the ick. But when I was like, I'm going to do a trauma award, this one gets the trauma. He traumatized me, and I still think about how shit that was. It makes me angry. Okay, now we're moving on to the Poetic Award. So this is the man that spits the most beautiful poetry, and the way he talks about her and, you know, yearns for her from the sidelines, and, you know, you get his internal monologue, and it's very like, she is beautiful, but, you know, she'll never be mine, she'll be the people's. And if you have read this series, you'll understand that quote. It is Kai Asa from the Powerless Trilogy. I'm holding up Reckless because each one of the books has something really beautiful that he says about Peyton, and I remember something in this towards the end of this book, and the way he just said it, and it was just really sad. And yeah, so this is Kai Asa. He is 20 years old. He is 6'4". He is a wielder, so he is able to take on other people's abilities, and his occupation is Ilya's enforcer. So this fantasy realms enforcer. I had fearless written there, but It's the entire series, and like I'm holding up Reckless because this is my favorite cover that I own, and his dating profile picture is from this scene as well that's on the cover of this. So he is just so beautiful, and the way he talks about her and the language he uses is so poetic. And I remember in the first book he was explaining like what his favorite color was, and he said blue. Like I'd never really thought about it before, but after looking at her eyes and how beautifully blue they were, he decided he just randomly said blue to her when she asked him what his favorite color was, and that was why. And the whole like scene of that, like the whole like internal monologue was really, really beautiful. So that's why I picked Kai for that, because I think that it fit really well. Then we have the Weak Knees Award. Now this should be pretty self-explanatory. This is the man that made me feel weak in the knees, made me melt, made me feel all like, oh, so beautiful, yes, love it, in love, all those things. And when I hold this book up, you guys are probably gonna laugh, but it is Aiden Leewright from Pen Pal. He is in his 30s. He's roughly 6'1". Again, no abilities because it is not a fantasy book, and he's a roofer slash handyman. This has very heavy BDSM topics in it, but the way he delivers it to her is so beautiful, and like had me sweating and like weak in the knees and all those things. And it was just so beautiful and so nice to read. And this story as well is just absolutely stunning. I listened to this on audiobook the week before Halloween and I was obsessed. I loved it so much. It was such a great read and I highly recommend it. And this man, the man on your screen, love him. Absolutely love him. Next up, we have the Friend Zone Escapee Award. So this is a man that was in the friend zone. I did not get behind him, but it changed my mind. He changed my mind. He did something, or his behavior changed. Something changed and it changed my mind. And it is, you guys are gonna hate me for this, but it is Redesigned from ACOTAR specifically by Sarah J. Maas. He is over, I think he's actually over 500 years old, but this is over 400 years old. He is 6'5". He's a shadow wielder. He's High Lord of the Night Court. That is his occupation. And specifically in this book, I think that Redesigned was a huge dick between ACOTAR and ACOMAF. Not until you hit like chapter 54, 55, 56 of ACOMAF does his behavior change. But in this, the way he treats her as his equal and not as his property or his belongings or less than, he treats her as an equal. And it was in this book that my mind really changed about him. I think I rated ACOMAF 5 stars and I don't think it's worth 5 stars anymore. I think this one is the 5-star book in the series and I think that one is worth like 4.5, 4.75. So yeah, Redesigned from ACOTAR definitely changed my mind. Like I said, he really just treats Feyre as his equal in this book and he is so there for her and just, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but it just Redesigned from this book. It just absolutely ticks all the right boxes for me. The next one we have, and I think you guys are going to laugh at this, but it is the Dirty Talker Award. And this is the man with the filthiest mouth and best dirty talk. Now, the book I have picked, you guys are going to be like, what do you mean? I'm sorry, but like, if you listen to it, this man had me sweating with his dirty talk. The way he spoke to her during all their spicy scenes, chef's kiss. That's what I want. Speak to me like that. Speak to me like that, okay? And it was Ryan Shea from The Right Move by Liz Tomforde. Again, another Windy Cities man. Ryan Shea is 27. He's 6'3". Again, no abilities. It's not a fantasy book. And he is a basketball player. He, like I said, the way he dirty talks Indy in their spicy scenes was so good. Like, I was sweating, dripping, whatever you want to call it. It was so sexy, and just like the like gruffness in his voice and the way he said it and what he said was just so good. He has a way of saying the most filthiest things in the best way. So Ryan Shea gets the Dirty Talker Award. Next we have the Sweet and Salty Award. So this is the man that is the most damaged but has the sweetest and biggest and kindest heart when you get to know him. And again, you guys will probably laugh at this, but reading both of these books, because one has just come out, I haven't finished the second one yet, but you guys will be able to tell in a second, but just reading how he is with her in the second book and finding out more about him and his trauma and what he's been through and how damaged he is, and yet how sweet and kind and beautiful he is to her. He is definitely deserving of this award. I think that he, through and through, just is really, really sweet to her, but again has so many demons and so much trauma, and it is Kingfisher from Quicksilver. I just really, I can't. So obviously this is Kingfisher. He is over 1,000 years old. I know that from reading this book. We don't know his actual age. I can't remember, but I know that he's over 1,000 years old. He is 6'4". Again, we have another shadow wielder, and again, he is a warrior. He's also Lord of Karlish, I think is how you say it. Quicksilver and Brimstone. Love him. Absolutely love him. Again, when you're reading these books, especially in Brimstone, you get to really see the amount of trauma that this man went through, and the fact that he's still able to be so sweet to her, even though he was being a dick in this, like when we got to the ending parts of it and how sweet he was to her and how he is to her in Brimstone, it is so beautiful and so sweet, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, so he gets the Sweet and Salty award. And then finally, we have the Selfless award, which is the man most willing to give up his dreams for you. And this man didn't necessarily give up his dreams for her, but he was willing to, and you could see that, and it really was quite beautiful to witness and read about, and watching their family dynamic and how that worked, as well as the found family, and just how willing he is to do anything for anyone around him. And the winner of the Selfless award is Kai Rhodes from Caught Up. This is Isaiah Rhodes' brother, older brother. He is 32, 6'4". Again, no abilities. He's not in a fantasy book. He is the starting pitcher for the Chicago Warriors, and he's from Caught Up by Liz Tomforde. So obviously you have Miller in this, and Miller is very like, she's like, no, I'm not ready to settle down, not ready to do this, not ready to do that. And she leaves, and he's like, I will give you up if that's what you want. And it is so hard to do that. And I know that firsthand. I know how hard it is to let someone go that you love if it's to help them achieve their dream. And he's so willing to give that up for her. And then later on we find out, you know, about his career and what he's planning to do, and he's doing it all for the benefit of her, and it's really, really, really beautiful, and I really love that. So he gets the Selfless award. This award was really difficult to pick. There was quite a few book boyfriends that I'd read about this year that had that selflessness about them, and yeah, I ultimately came down to Kai Rhodes because I just think that he was the most deserving of it. So now we're going to go into top 3, and this was really difficult. It was somewhat difficult, but also somewhat not difficult. There is another book boyfriend that I probably love more than these, but I didn't have him in these lists because it was really hard to sort of pick and get the information about him. So the honorable mention that I will mention as well is Belle from For Whom the Bell Tolls. And he is just absolutely beautiful and one of my favorite book boyfriends of all year, and so is Johnny Kavanagh. Again, obviously I know that he is 17, and I don't mean it in that way. I'm just saying that a man that I read about this year and was a boyfriend in a book, he just is so beautiful, and I just love the way he is, his personality, his soul, who he is, and who, like, what he does. So they're the honorable mentions for like top 5, but the top 3 coming in 3rd place and taking away the bronze is Ryan Shea. Again, he is just so beautiful. There's a quote in this that he says, Indy's trying to guess what his love language is, and he internally says, at some point I really should just tell her that whatever my love language is, whatever she wants it to be, so she can stop guessing. And I just think that that is so beautiful, and so many people need to be more like that for their partners. You have to understand that what your love language might be, like how you show love or how you like to receive love, is not what your partner has. And I think that he does a really good job of loving her so quietly but so fiercely that she never has to question it. And the way he's like, I should just tell her that it's whatever she wants it to be so she can stop guessing, is just proof of that. And I think that's how we all need to be with our significant others. So he is coming in at 3rd place, taking the bronze. And then this is probably going to shock some of you, but this was really difficult, and I think it's because I was just reading Brimstone. But in 2nd place, taking the silver, is Xaden Ryerson. It was really hard to pick between this one and the next one, but he's coming in at 2nd. Again, I just think that he is a great book boyfriend. However, if you know the ending of this book, you'll understand why he got 2nd. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but like, do better. do better Xaden, but I still just love him. I think he's a great character. I think he's got so many layers. I think he is just, we're just going to still discover so much more about him in the next 2 books that are due to come out. And yeah, I really, really love him as a character. He was one of the first male main characters that I fell in love with in a book. And yeah, he will always hold a very, very special place in my heart. So taking the silver, and second place is Xaden. And then my number 1 book boyfriend of the year was Kingfisher from Quicksilver or Brimstone, either or. Like I said, I think because I'm reading Brimstone at the moment, he kind of just took the lead, but I still really, really love Xaden up front with Sierras, and is just like, no, like, get your shit together. And then the way he changes for her, and you know, we discover all these things, and it's just really, 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 really beautiful, and I really, really love it. And yeah, so he takes gold and first place of my number 1 book boyfriend of the year. So that is the end of Bookmas Day 10 and our book boyfriend awards. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I really enjoyed making this video as well. It was really nice to kind of go through all the books that I read this year and, you know, see what jobs they all had and how many people I read about and all those things. And like, obviously there's side characters on all of them as well, but a lot of the side characters I didn't really care for. Some of them I did, but they didn't quite make it into this list, but that's fine by me. But yeah, like I said, that's the end of day 10. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you like, comment down below who your favorite book boyfriend was that you've read about so far this year. Also subscribe and turn on the notification bell. We only have 2 more days left of Bookmas, which is crazy. I'm very excited for those videos, so make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you get notified when I post those videos. If you don't follow me on TikTok and Instagram already, head over there. They'll be linked on the screen as well as in the description box below. And if you want any annotated books from me, head over to my Etsy shop, again on the screen in the description box below as well. It's Commentary Corner, and I have a big list of books that you can get from me. And that is the end of today's video. I will see you in tomorrow's video for Bookmas Day 11. Bye. Mwah.